Good morning, and welcome back to the morning show. It's now time for our program, Policing with You. I'm the moderator for this morning, Sinclair, also known as GQ, by the way. And our host for this morning, one of them, because each week we have a different one, from Superintendent Francis to Sergeant Richards to Inspector Alwick Edwards, who is here in the studio with me this morning. And we also have in our presence Superintendent David. But I'm going to allow Alwick Edwards to introduce the program, let you know what's going to be on the agenda for this morning. And we're going to open up the lines at 9:30, or when we do take a break, we'll come back and get to hear from you guys. So over to you, Inspector.
Yeah, thank you, GQ. Good morning to you too as well. Good morning to those of you listening via radio, internet, or from whatever social media platform. I am Alwick Edwards, Inspector of Police, and the host for today's program, Policing with You. My guest this morning, GQ, and all the listeners, is Superintendent David, the Divisional Commander for District B. So David, I have a few questions to ask you, and I will pose them to you. Yes, let us begin. Can you indicate for our listeners and viewers, which areas are included in Division B?
Okay, thank you very much, Inspector Edwards, and I would like to say good morning to everyone who are listening, and if we have persons who are viewing via the internet, for those of you who are viewing. And it's always been a pleasure for me to come and field some questions from the maybe the host and also our listening audience and viewing audience as well, and to share information regarding policing and more particularly my sphere of operation. Yes, Division B engulfs the areas between Rasgut, go right around through Sandy Point at Saddlers to Lodge Gut. Lodge Gut is, I'm speaking of Lodge Village, that whole area there. So you could say it engulfs a big chunk of the island of St. Kitts, a very big area. And in that area we have 4 stations. We have, coming from the direction of Old Road, first we have Old Road Police Station, Sandy Point Police Station, Dietbe Police Station, and Tabernacle Police Stations. So these stations are under my direct command, and with that I have I had 2 inspectors, but one is on a temporary assignment, so I have 1 inspector with me, and each station they're headed by a sergeant. Yes.
Thank you, Superintendent David. You have a number of initiatives being carried out in your district. Tell us about the work you've been doing in the area of road safety and some of the challenges you still have to tackle with that.
I want to thank you for that question, because we know persons, when they hear about policing, they say, okay, all right, somebody breaking somebody's house. Well, not nowadays. Once ago, it used to be, you're going to pull up my ganja tree, you know, what you don't think and so forth. But we are looking at safety using the road. And safety using the road is one of our priorities. And we realize that many persons, when they walk along the road, they walk improperly, or sometimes, even though they're walking properly on the road, and when I say properly, I mean at the side of the road, they're following the necessary protocols when they are crossing the road. But yet still you may have a driver comes across and struck the person, whether intentionally or unknowingly. And then you also have speeding, and we have persons using the road with a lot of defects regarding the vehicle. So some of the initiatives we're using right now, we are in all districts where we're on the road, and we're looking at speeding. We're also looking at say persons who have excessive tints on their vehicles. We also look at persons who may have, especially at nights now, 1 headlamp at nights. And now we have colored lights, you know, these lot of colored lights people put on the vehicles. You need to have permission from the licensing authority to have that done. So we call them additional lights, that's what we call them, so we look into that. We also look at, say, bus drivers. You know, we have the COVID-19 taking place. We are ensuring that the bus drivers, because they can be a conduit for the spread of COVID-19 if they do not carefully and intentionally carry out the protocols. So therefore, we stop the buses and ensure the persons are wearing the masks, the windows are down, and at the end of the day, when persons get on or off, they can hand sanitize. We know that it's now shifted where the bus can be to capacity, so we're just ensuring that persons are fulfilling that aspect of it. And finally as well, we also speak to children about using the crossing. I know that we do not have any lights in Division B, but we also speak to the traffic lights. There are some children, I tell you, they will just come down the road and just walk straight across. And then you have a driver might be scrabbling. I mean, they need to use the road much safely than that. And I like to say to the parents who are teaching the children to continue to do so, we appreciate what you're doing, you're assisting us in doing so. The motorists who are complying with the traffic rules, thank you very much. And in terms of the roads, we realize that our roads are now paved, smooth, very smooth, and no bumps, and there are some of them very long. And I would say that when it comes to old road, maybe when you look at the road, maybe you can have 2 vehicles going that way, 2 vehicles coming this way, so you have, if the market out, you may have a 4-lane. And there are some people drive in a manner that is concerning. So we have issued many tickets for varying traffic offences in terms of speeding. We have persons not wearing the seat belts. We have persons maybe driving and using the cell phones. And also too, we have persons, when we stop them for that particular offence, we are now seeing gentlemen and audience, a lot of persons are using the road, they don't have any license, the vehicle is not licensed, and automatically if it's not licensed, it may not have insurance. And if you do not have a license, you're not covered by insurance. So you are a danger to other people using the road in case you get into an accident. The persons may not be compensated, and that's a serious, dangerous thing.
Yes, thank you, Superintendent David. Let us touch, let us home in on crime prevention initiative. What can you tell us about the crime prevention initiative being carried out in District B, and what extent, and to what extent, have you been seeing results?
Well, we are doing proactive policing, and it goes back down to Sir Robert Peel, as they would put it, modern policing, the father of policing, who says that the community is the police is the community, and therefore we are interacting with the community. So part of our proactive approach, we are forming groups. For example, we have a community group in the Old Road district, wherein we have 2 persons from each village within that district. And Old Road, you go from West Farm area, go down to Half a Tree. And these persons, they will meet from time to time. Sergeant Maguire and Inspector Dickinson, but Sergeant Maguire is the one who pushing it a lot as the sergeant in charge. Inspector Dickinson makes sure overseeing it as the district officer. And they will look at issues that affect the community. Thus far, we have put yellow lines. We have ensured that they have concern about the number of speeding and so forth, more presences on the road. And we have patrols, frequent patrols. We have interact with people, and we give crime tips as well. And we, in terms of the patrols, we have what we call walkthroughs, our community engagement. We just got to engage the person. Hi, how you doing? Ask a question here or there, and somebody may say, okay, we're glad that you come. That mere presence helps to, one, the criminals wouldn't want to be seen. We build that relationship with the community members. They're glad for that, and they're willing to share information so that we can detect and prevent crime. And we are so thankful. Apart from Old Road, there are other initiatives the officers use. So you find that when they do go outside, they will speak with business people as well and give them crime tips. So that's one of the things we do. So even this program also assists us. So when it's not we as Division B, we are so happy that we have this program for the police. So other officers will come and give crime tips. So it's not only just for the particular area that officer is from, but for the entire country. So in terms of a tip right now we'll give to persons, whatever we say to persons, ensure that whatever you leave in your premises, that is properly secured, and that you do not leave your place to be vulnerable.
Thank you, Superintendent David. You spoke about crime tip, and you can only be tipped off by a civilian. Yeah. So this question is bordering that the answer that you gave as it relates to TIP. What role has community policing played in your policing plan?
Well, community policing is very instrumental in Division B, and I know that the wider police force as a whole. Some of the programs we have, we have the school liaison program. We have what we call the same group that we talk about. We also have the police officers. We go out and move about in the community, interact with the community members from time to time. And out of this, we have seen where crime is on a downward trend in the division, and we're so thankful. I first want to thank God for His mercies, because without Him, nothing is possible. So I believe that we are a prayerful set of persons, and we take everything to God, and we have our strategic group meetings where we look at issues. So when we get certain information from members of the public, we get together as a division, and we plan our strategy around it, and not only what they will say to us, but also what we see happening, what we hear, because we can look at the trends and realize what is taking place. And in terms of going to schools, I will throw this out, that we also would like to engage the churches. When I say engage the churches, the congregants are from a community. So you must have concerns. One or two of you might have been a victim of a crime. Come to us as well. We understand that not much church person may want to go to court, but however we can help you to prevent yourself from becoming a victim again. And also we have the sports clubs. We have footballers. So therefore the footballers, suppose you may have some issues on the playing field. The coach alone cannot do it. The police officer can come and say, look here, when you leave the field, you have a wider community and somebody may want to do you something, so we want to encourage you to be a good sportsman all the time, or sportswoman, because sometimes things leave off the pitch and reach in the street. Mm-hmm. And when you reach in the street, there is no referee. Mm-hmm. And the only referee, if that person around, is a police.
The police, right.
Why is, people say the police are crazy set. Everybody running there with the police running towards it. Police, fire, soldiers, nurses, as you can see with COVID-19. Everybody don't want to catch COVID, everybody running away. But we have to do that in order to protect you. So these are some of the things that we're doing. And I'm appealing to, like I said, the churches and the sports bodies. Invite the police to speak to you from time to time. And I see that we will be engulfing the wider community in different pockets. Mm-hmm. And for me in particular, I love to engage the youth, because the youth are our future. And if they get misguided early, we have some serious problems. We may not have persons to take over from your GQ, nobody to take over from me and Mr. Edwards. Nobody can even take over from the Prime Minister, because everybody not interested in governance and leading the community to where they're supposed to go. So I take a lot of pride in engaging the youth, and we as a police, that's why we have the school liaison officer program. So we go to the school from time to time, hear the concerns, and help the teachers to put systems in place in order to think, because once this child leaves the school, they're coming back to us. Mm-hmm. So if we could have the children being good at school and good in the community, yes, where we have model children. Yes. So that's what we're endeavoring to achieve.
Yes, thank you, Superintendent David. GQ, let us break now, and upon our return, we'll open the lines and solicit calling from the general public.
Sure, great. We'll be back right after this. We're going to get a word from our sponsors here at The Morning Show.
We plan for every major life event, from birthday parties to baptisms, and celebrating a life well lived deserves the same thoughtful planning. Beacon's Rest Easy plan is designed to give your loved ones the comfort of knowing that they can do just that. With no underwriting and cover for up to 6 family members that includes certain injuries, this plan can be yours for as little as 75 cents per day. Call Kane Agencies or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
More and more cable customers are getting their cable internet package upgraded for free.
I paid 3 months and I got upgraded from Flash to Bolt. So now I'm actually paying less for more.
Yes, up to double speeds and savings of up to $200 per month just for using your card to pay your bill.
I had this Bolt package, then I got this Platinum card and I have paid my bill with that. They have upgraded me to Strike, which is almost double the speed now.
All it takes is a little loyalty. Use your Cable Platinum Loyalty MasterCard to pay 3 consecutive cable bills.
I was upgraded from Flash to the Bolt after paying my bill on time for 3 consecutive months, and I'm now enjoying the free upgrade.
To keep the upgrade, just continue using your Platinum Loyalty Card to pay your cable bills. Pay your bill in-store or online at www.thecable.net. Sign up for the Cable Platinum Loyalty Card today and get more. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Domino's $30 Large Pizza Special, happening every day at 5 p.m. until closing. Save yourself $8.50 and take advantage of this fantastic deal and get a large pizza for only $30. However, this promotion is only available for 3 flavors: barbecue chicken, cheese, and pepperoni. So what are you waiting for? Come on in and get your large pizza for $30 today.
Wow, call Domino's.
Offer available for carryout only.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's go straight to the phone line.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
All right, let's see if it's going to be culture. Everybody asks me, how culture the gate do? 2 lines swinging. Let's see. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, yes, sir.
I have a little concern for the officers. I don't know if it make any sense, but to me it don't make any sense. Coming up there from Windsor University, there's a school zone there, so it's 20 miles per hour. I understand that. But why would they have the police at the top of the hill next to the gas station where you're still doing 20 miles per hour and you're getting a ticket? You're coming uphill, most likely you'll have to put your foot on the accelerator a bit. I could understand if it was more closer down to the Cairn high school, primary school, close to the Windsor, but you already leave the school, you almost say, 200 yards away from the school. I don't understand. Why would the police give you a ticket at the top there for doing 20 or even 25 miles per hour and you're not in the school zone as yet? You're not approaching the Cairn one, you already leave Windsor. So I don't understand it. Maybe the officer could explain it to me. To me, it don't make any sense. I could understand if it was approaching the school, but you already leaving the school.
Okay.
I will listen. I'll say.
Okay, I want to thank you for that question, caller. I will say to you, the law is that within a village or built-up area, you should be traveling at 20 miles per hour. And outside, you have 40 or 45 miles per hour. However, once you outside that and you're exceeding the speed limit, you will be ticketed, can be ticketed. The police can use discretion, give you a warning, and tell you, look, you exceed the speed limit, next time when you're in this area, make sure you drive carefully. Speeding is one of our concern because, I tell you, a dog went across the road and he clocked in 100 miles per hour and you try to swerve off. You see what happened? If you're not skillful, you're going to come back over on the road and you're going straight off the road with that speed. And let us assume another vehicle coming as well. You crash right into that vehicle. So, I understand your concern, but I will encourage you that look at it is road safety. We are trying to reduce speed. And from that area there, the gas station go down to Windsor area. That's a straight corner go down there. And if you cannot corner well, when you go straight to the bush, a vehicle coming, you go hit on it. And if you're coming from Windsor area, go down to Cairn, and you go over to where the Seventh Adventist church is. Some vehicles are parked on the road there. You have all the speed up. You cannot stop another vehicle coming. You have a head-on collision or you crash right into the back of those vehicles. So look at it in a different angle, I would suggest to you. That is road safety, and we're trying to protect the lives of the road users and even those who might be in the houses, because we know that vehicles run in houses nearly kill people already. And when we look at the houses in that area, they are very close to the road.
Okay. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, officers.
Good morning.
Good morning, GQ.
Good morning. Morning.
There are two little concerns.
Yes.
One, police vehicles, that the postal police, right? Supposed to get the vehicle cleaned up, dark on the tires. That's the first question. The second one, a Panama now went out to date the police station to make a report. As he reached the station, they say, good morning. The police officer tell him, I hope you come in here with no confusion now. So he said, miss, I come to make a report. You tell me what confusion? So he raised his voice, you know. So, Mr. Stupid, you're talking. I come and make a report. I have a concern. So he said they raised the voice, then the officer who in charge come down and tell him stop raising the voice so much in the station, which he said he was talking hard with you. But you are going to make a report to the police station. Should I ask you if you come, what stupid is you come with? You don't take the man's statement first, or find out where he come from? So these things need to look into. So the parents say, come out and say, well, he going to go see a liar because he don't understand. He gone to a station to make a report. First thing the police tell him, I hope you not come in a confusion. That can't be right. I listen to you. Thank you.
Caller, I want to thank you for that. I'll just let you know that the first one, in terms of why police vehicles are so heavily tinted, they're personal vehicles. We at the top, we have already dealt with police officers who have their vehicles heavily tinted, and we will continue to do so. Yes, I know that persons will say, okay, all right, then officer, you want me take off my tint, give me a ticket for my tint, but what about a police cross the road? Remember, the police who is dealing with you now have not seen that police officer. So instead of a person will make those comments, you best you comply with the officer right there and then. Mm-hmm. And if you know of an officer, give that name, the vehicle number, and we will look into it. I can say this though, yes, there will be a concern. Okay, police don't deal with their own. But I'm saying, yes, some of us will behave that way, and there are some of us will definitely, look, take off your tint. We can deal with it in two ways. We can give the person a ticket. We can discipline the person, because that in itself will bring discredit on the reputation of the police force. And we do not want that. So that's why we are telling officers. I work at 2 districts and I give officers instruction, take off your tint. And I will continue to do so because, I mean, as a senior officer, that really will grind me very hard to know that people are saying that, and it is true. And then some of us don't want to do it. They think, oh, I am above the law. No. We as police officers, we are also subjected to the law, and we must comply. So I want to make it abundantly clear that I know that the High Command and also the other senior officers in the police force do share your concern, and I am letting you and the general public know we have dealt with it, we are dealing with it, and we'll continue to deal with issues like that. Yes. And the other one is in terms of going to the station and making a lot of noise. Yes, a person, when they go to the station, they should not be making noise. There's an offense for that. But the point that he made is when as soon as the person entered, that is a concern to me. Now, when a person comes in the station, the police officer should always assume that the person is in distress. The person can come in naked. Yes, it's an offense to walk naked, but a naked man come in your station within a frantic or calm mode. The first thing about him, I'm going to say, go to the station. He said, yes, sir, can I help you? What is the problem? If you realize the person has a mental issue, well, then you deal with it there, and then you call in the necessary persons to deal with it. But the first thing come out of the police officer's mouth should not be that. So I will say to you, if you know who the officer is, you can come back to the station, look for me, Superintendent David. I'm the division officer for the, and I will have to speak with that officer, because that is something we will not accept and tolerate. It should not happen. But I like to put in this part, if it happens that way, because we also need to investigate it as well to find out if something happened like that. And once our investigation reveals that it did happen, we will take the necessary course of action and have corrective measures also taking place.
Okay.
Thank you, Superintendent David. Any more calls?
Yes, we do.
Yes, let's take another one.
Let's try this one. Good morning. Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Remember you are the one to certify those guys in there, you know. as qualify AA.
Okay. I got you.
All right, good. Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Hope
Good morning.
Yeah, I have one little short concern. According to what I've been hearing going on the streets, like you have 2 cars going east and 2 going west, and it's like they're on the Indy 500. I am asking that they put more police to do street patrol. Those who would enforce the laws and not keep the friend doing wrong and dapsing them up and smiling like nothing doing. Because when the friend see the police just dap him and let him go like that, he gonna continue, and other people gonna catch the disease, and then he gonna come a time when it's gonna be hard to control these people on the street who breaking the law. Enforce the law at all times. It doesn't matter who it is. Even if you have to call them, I can give them a break, but let them know you're there to enforce the law, please. Put more police on the street to enforce the law. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say. Hey then.
That's our culture.
Thank you, Culture, for your contribution.
I guess it was a slow draw.
Technically.
Yeah, Culture, we were just saying that you were slow and pulling the thing this morning, man. Somebody forced you.
You have 3 calls.
Yeah, let's take the call.
Good morning, line 2, you're live.
Yeah, good morning to everybody. Officers, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, man. Morning, buddy.
Good morning. No, I'm not complaining the police in any way. I'm complaining the drivers and them. I don't know, police officer, why people don't seem to understand the roundabout. The one going up there by ECCB. I'm on the left side of the road to go to Bird Rock. A big 12-wheeler coming from, I can't be too sure which one. So the tow was going around the corner. I go in Bird Rock. Next thing, police officer, the 12-wheeler got in his stand, cut in front of me and continued towards Bird Rock. I don't know what it is that they don't understand about the roundabout. I think that you all have tried. Maybe if a camera put the people caught in there, that might be better. I really don't know. But people do not know how to use the roundabout. Them things been there now for quite a while. And you tell me, Miss Marker on the left side of the road going Bird Rock, I indicate when I go around the corner, when I reach the stop, you come out from Suki Bay, that are going left, going straight Bird Rock. And this man in the big 12-wheeler, full of that, decide that he had the right to, because he began on me. If I put up to that, he could run over my vehicle and mash it up and some more thing and crush me in it. So I do not know, police officer, what all you can do.
Okay.
This is a problem with people on the roundabout that either don't know to you or they mean they can't wait. No, we go in the same direction, but he's on the wrong side of the road.
Right.
He's supposed to be on the left side of the road, either in front of me or behind me, if he wants to go Bird Rock. But he on the right side of the road, cutting into the road to Bird Rock. And I had to, naturally, I'm going to drop back because that's a 12-wheeler. He could run over me vehicle with me in there.
Right.
So I do not know how I could deal with it, but I've been complaining forever. GQ could be evidence to me. I have the control about the roundabout. Why people can't use the roundabout? And I think they got sometimes, when they see you coming, they must park, and they speed up just to make sure. So you know you don't want an accident and you got to slow down. I don't know what else I could do. I really don't. I can't blame her, because I have nothing to do with her. It's just that what this reckless drivers got in the road. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you,
sir, for your call.
What I would say to that is that, yes, we have been doing a lot of education, and we will continue to do so. But what I would say to a number of us, get the number of those vehicles and be willing to go to court so we can prosecute. The thing is that what I observe, and I like to tell people, some persons driving this truck, the way they walk on the road, that's how they drive the truck. If they mash you, they don't care. And if you mash them, they will hit you back. So it's like they in these big vehicles. And in this scenario, all he had to do put his indicator on. And if he's realized, because he's not going to go in the path of the other driver, if he realizes he cannot happen, go around the roundabout and come again and come about and the correct lane to exit. Because once you go on the inside, it means you're going further. But when you're on the outside, that's the exit side.
And I think that's there, with your permission.
Yes,
with your permission. With your permission. Because what I've seen from being here on more than one occasion, I'm not going to call any names, but one officer would say, when you come to the roundabout and you want to go straight, you stay in the left lane, and if you want to go left, you go left.
Right.
Right? Another officer will come and say, if you come in the right lane and you want to go right, you stay in the right lane. And if you want to go around the roundabout, you go in the right lane. But then another officer going to come and say, stay in the left lane to go right.
No, man, that's wrong.
You see where I'm coming from? So I think that's where the confusion is, because some people are under the impression that the right lane or the inner lane is only for a U-turn.
No. If you, for example, if I come in from, and I do this all the time, and I hope that some people pick it up. If I'm coming from, say, Kim Collins, but I'm going down to Frigate Bay Road, right, to go down on Pan Road, I keep on the inside, because you see that exit close to where I enter. So if I go over there, I'm going to be going around. So I come in, and then when I reach around, I look in my mirrors, see if anybody they put on my indicator, and then go over.
I get you.
If somebody come in, I may have to go around and come back.
I get you. I get you.
But this time, cross earlier, because you cannot do it too late. And that's why it is important that persons understand the rules of the road.
We get to that conversation another time.
Especially roundabout. And let me talk about the truck driver. And I'm not trying to bash any truck driver, but I believe they drive what they think. They drive what they think. So I am not saying that the man is wrong, but people need to understand that once a vehicle is already inside the roundabout, he has all the right. Once you ain't enter the roundabout yet, you have to stay out until the person passes you. That's how it is. You gotta give it to the traffic on your right in the roundabout. So if the man enter the roundabout, you have to wait. You can't just cut out and cut in front of the person. You're impeding the person, and that's as offense. To impede free flow of traffic.
Gentlemen, I want to put a stop to that conversation. It is important. It is important, but we'll have to have that conversation another time.
Right. GQ, any more calls?
Yes.
Let's just take the next caller, please.
Good morning, good life.
Yeah, pleasant good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Very early in the year, I spoke about these buses and other vehicles with
speakers on the outside.
The speakers on the outside. At that time, it was only a few, but now there are many more, especially on the buses side. And they make so much, the noise is not in the buses no more. The noise is outside. They have speakers planted on the bumpers and to the front and so. And it's still a concern because it's like you could hear them a mile coming.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. That we call a noisy vehicle. I mean, noisy vehicle can be coming in so many different ways right now. But because if you have a vehicle and all you hear palang, 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 outside the loose parts, the vehicle should be off the road. However, in terms of noise, with radio and other systems that are there to create noise, the speakers should be for your own entertainment and listening benefit, not for the general public. And I want to encourage my officers, my colleagues, enforce the law. I'm glad that these callers are calling in to keep us on our feet, because without them, some of us wouldn't realize we're ignoring our duty. We call it neglect of duty. And it is indeed, when the public is crying out, it is now the duty of the police officer, right, the police force, to look and see, hey, if we are not certain, say, look at the law. Oh, well, okay, yeah, that's an offense. Oh, no, that's not an offense. But it's now a common concern. We now need to tell them, look, lobby government, see if government can put a piece of legislation in place to combat that. But currently, we have a legislation to deal with that. And I'm encouraging police officers, once you hear these things, let them stop it. I remember when I was in Division C, I had to stop a vehicle and say, look here, unplug that right now. The man, put the speaker by his window, you know, and just wind down the glass and just blast. He said, hey, no, disconnect that right now. And some of them, if I'm in my vehicle, you know what that means, you're going to leave me. But if I'm walking and I'm in my uniform, I'm going to stop you. I said, look, disconnect that. And if you can, and if needs be to, I will give you a summons. I don't have to ticket you anymore, they can summons you because it happened in my view. So I want to tell my officers, be emboldened and know the law and execute the law. The public is crying out for it, and we are to listen and we are to assist the public because they are offended by these things that the law says should not happen. So I want to thank the caller for that.
Thank you, Superintendent David. Let me ask this question, sir. Safety and security.
Yes.
Why is it important for the police to have these conversations about safety and security with the general public?
I love that question. You know, as you see what happened this morning, people are expressing their concern and they can't turn to no one else. And we have to see that. We have to see, look here, we are the persons who are there to safeguard the safety and security of people and also the rights of people. And so therefore, when we executing our duties, yes, we, GQ and the general public, police officers will violate a right of yours 1 point, but they will be lawful in doing it because the law will prescribe to that. But then is when we go outside the scope, it becomes a problem. Because if I have to arrest you, I restrict you of your liberty. But the law says I can restrict your movement because you break the law. And it is not unconstitutional unless I go way overboard. So having these discussions, it builds relationship, and it also forms a part of education in both ways. Because suppose that might have been the first time we hear about these vehicles. We are now more educated. Having explained the law, the public is more educated, so they say, okay, well, if that's the case, well, let me call the police, give no man support because they don't want to go court, but they have to look for that vehicle. So I'm saying to you, caller, just get that number. Be anonymous if you're concerned about your identity being exposed, and report it to the police. And I want that we will continue this program because I believe it's a good exchange of ideas, a good exchange of knowledge, and it draws us closer. So therefore, that brings trust. And I'm encouraging that whenever police officers, whenever somebody from the public come to you, don't care what annoying it sounds, we must listen and provide a calm and respectful response, even though you know the person not going to like the response. You say, look, partner, this is what the law says. Well, you say, okay, well, I understand you, but I'll tell you what. Tomorrow come to me, I will have a copy of the law so you can read it up yourself. The person is more empowered and more knowledgeable. So guess what? Tomorrow when I see him, he radio at the correct volume, all the things correct. The additional lights are off because he's more informed. I just want to share a quick story. I was in Nevis working as a divisional officer. An officer came to pick me up off the pier. We parked the vehicle at Government Road, park on a yellow line. I said, let's go back. Went back, parking for the vehicle, right up the ticket inside, give him. A gentleman was on the side of the road. When the officer was about to put the ticket, he came over. I asked a question. So I then realized there's an engagement. I went out. I said, there's a problem? He said, yes, I'm going to get a ticket. Why am I getting a ticket? I say, well, you park on the yellow line. The yellow line is for you to load or offload, pick up or drop off a passenger. What are you doing? My friend gone to the restaurant to buy food. I said, well, that doesn't fall within it. So the officer is now going to give you a ticket, and you're going to say, thank you, and comply. He took the ticket. He said, look here. This is what he said to the constable. I will take a ticket from that man any day. I said, tell me what he said. He said, because you explained a lot to me. And sometimes some of us, we are annoyed when people...
That's your point. That's your point.
When people are not afraid of the law. You know?
That's your point.
Yes, it might be said that a man must know the law. But sometimes to prevent all sort of challenges, when that person now become more educated, he's now become an advocate for you.
That's true.
Let's keep our fingers crossed on that in terms of more cooperation. We're going to take our final call, and then we're going to get ready to wrap up our program, because coming up at 10, I want to share some information about saving, budgeting, as it relates to finances. So, because it's financial month, okay? Our final call for this morning with line 3. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, as usual, very informative program. I just have one point I've been raising for some time concerning the roundabout. I believe that this really needs to be really taken into consideration. On approaching any roundabout, any part of the world you go, you need to have proper signage. The signage on the roundabout here in St. Kitts is very poor. I'm suggesting again that what we need to do is to put bigger signs on approaching the roundabout. 20 yards before you reach in the roundabout. Not when you reach in the roundabout, you see a little sign saying this lane. And people here who are coming from overseas in particular, they're having a problem because they probably don't have that system as prevalent in the area where they come from. In addition to a lot of the local drivers here. So if you have proper signage that you will see and you travel all over the world, you see the big signage, you say you're going to Frigate, this lane. You're going to wherever, that lane. But you do not have proper signage around the roundabout. And that's something that we should be challenging court. Because the roundabout need to have bigger signage before you reach the roundabout. Not when you reach the roundabout, you see the signage here, and people shifting and you know where to go. I'd just like to leave that with you for consideration. Because, you can get signage made up, you got the guys in the prison sign, they could do the signage, get proper signage, I bought a book there to Inspector King some years ago showing them all the signage, these are things that we need to do. We need to get international. We need to see what's happening overseas and have them prescribed here. So I'd like to really encourage that. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlo. Thank you, Carlo, for your contribution.
Yes, we will look into that indeed.
Yes, GQ. You spoke about the financial year, and you spoke about the last quarter, I think. So this question is really fitting for this. The last question, by the way, what should people bear in mind as we approach the end of the year?
Wow. Well, everybody, JQ, I like to say I might be young, yes, but I'm from the old school, if we are in tough times with COVID, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So if you don't want something, don't go and spend. Try to save as much as possible. In terms of trying to save your money, though, and you may have to buy something for the Christmas, whether a present or a gift, you should ensure that you do not expose too much money in the public. You should try to use as much plastics, as we call them, cards, debit cards, credit cards. And if you want to place your orders early, place them early so that you wouldn't have to dish out cash. And in terms of the businesses, if persons can place their order early, pay later, you avoid that. And those who will be moving around from time to time in the villages to drop off stuff and collect cash, try to do it in such a way that you wouldn't have too much cash on you. You would need change, yes, but you can do that. And when persons are leaving their homes to go different places, ensure that you secure properly. If you have a good neighbor watch system in place, inform your neighbor, so in case you see a strange person, not that when you come back, the neighbor say, boy, indeed I thought you were moving out and I see the truck come up, but it's somebody breaking into your house. So we have to do that. So in terms of that, we really have to buy needs and not wants. And make sure you do not expose too much cash in public and businesses. Try not to have too much cash moving around in terms of when you have your delivery vans. If they can order before and pay before, it's best, and then you have the delivery. So that's what I would say to the persons in terms of the end of the year coming up in terms of trying to prevent crime and at the same time utilize your money.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Superintendent David. Anything closing, sir?
Yes, sir. The listening public, I enjoy you. It's always a pleasure, GQ, when I come here. I just love the questions, because at the end of the day, you keep the brain ticking and you let the public know, look here, the police. Yes, sometimes we act a kind of a way, but we are still human beings and we are here to share information with you. We love you, and our duty is to protect and serve you. And that's what we want to say. We are your police force, and anything that you see that can enhance it further, that we can serve you much better, we wanted to share. Not just only utilize the program, but you can meet the commissioner, meet the senior officer, give your points. I like the gentleman mentioned the point there in terms of bigger signage. I like that. That's a good idea there, so we can put it up. So as we approach the Christmas season, once again, spend only for needs and make sure you conceal as much as possible and put measures in place to protect yourself. Thank you very much, and do enjoy the rest of the day, and may God continue to richly bless you. Finally, protocol for COVID-19. If you don't have issues with the vaccine, take the vaccines And if you have concerns, speak to your general practitioner, and as much as possible. We are now seeing where deaths now have taken place in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I am, maybe the experts will have to say, but maybe the majority of them or all of them might be persons who are not vaccinated. If they were the vaccinated one, obviously there might have been an underlying issue, and it seems like the virus really feeds on that. So I guess people need to ask more questions about this. What is it about these underlying issues the virus really cause people to succumb? So maybe it's something attract them to that thing. So persons, remember, we have to do this in order to protect our country so we can go back to where we were prior to COVID, where we can move freely without any concerns. But the more we hold out, the longer we're going to stay in this position. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, Superintendent David. I too want to thank you, GQ, for being the reliable moderator that you always have been. I want to thank you, Superintendent David, for coming. I know you're a very, very busy officer. I want to thank the management and staff of ZIZ for allowing us to be here week after week. To the person who called in this morning, I want to thank you for your contribution, and to let you to know that without your contribution, this show is pointless. I want to encourage the person who are thinking about calling in and are afraid to so do. Call in. It's okay. You can call in. You can give up your best. We will understand. And I want to thank you again for listening, and see you again next week, Thursday. Thank you.
Everywhere. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know.